Right, okay, so this is video number 3 in this series of doing gluten-free reviews in places on holiday, mainly in Europe. And this one is gluten-free in Zadar. So I've done Gdansk and Porto so far. And Zadar was very much not as good as Poland was. Not quite as bad as Greece, but somewhere in the middle. A little bit limited on some of the options, especially for things like breakfast and lunch. It wasn't too bad for evening meals, but there wasn't a ton of places all like labelled up and things like that. But I'm just gonna show the footage and go through the different options, and then list them and then tag the place as well. So if you've got a trip coming up to Zadar and you've got to eat gluten-free diet, then hopefully this can be of use, and you enjoy some of the filler footage as well that I've filmed. So let's go. Now, the second place on the list is a bit of a tale of two halves. So this one's called Providur. It's a really, really nice place to sit, right in the middle of a little courtyard in Zadar. Really lovely place to just sit and chill and just people watch. And there's quite a number of different gluten-free options, although it's not labelled up on the menu, but the staff are very helpful in pointing out things. So this is a pork loin and cranberry and black pepper sauce with potato and truffle puree and some veg, but it was okay. It was what it was, probably like a 6 out of 10. And this was a traditional black cuttlefish risotto, which was very bang average, to be honest, about a 5 out of 10. However, we did go again on the day before we left, so we went for some lunch and we got a sea bass, and that was a really, really nice sea bass with potato and chard, and a coffee, and that was a lot better. So I would advise it as a place if you are stuck, and you're wanting something like, it's all right, it's gonna fill a hole, but it's not gonna knock your socks off. Right, now this one is actually a good one. So this place is called Groppo, and they specialise in seafood, and this is the sort of the traditional sort of starter that you can get in Zadar, the octopus salad. So we went for that. Olives, octopus, tomato, a bit of roughage as well. Absolutely banging, really nice, and really nice place to sit. Nice ambience, little lamps on each table that you can like control the light and have it as like a nice little yellow orange light. And for main, we got the fish platter, and on that there was like sea bass, sea bream, tuna, squid, shrimp. No, not shrimp. King prawn. What else was on it? I need to have a look at this. Basically, everything you could want on a seafood platter was on this thing, and we absolutely smashed it, absolutely devoured it. But as good as Groppo was, it was not as good as this last place called something like Osteria 12. Absolutely unreal, massive piece of tuna. Like, see the size of this tuna steak in a second. Look at that, with a big mussel on top, absolutely banging. The only thing that I have to complain about from this trip is that we didn't go there at least 3 or 4 times. Now, any food review of Zadar would be completely pointless if it didn't cover gelato. And so here are the 2 best places we found for gelato that are gluten-free. The first is called Slasticana. Really, really nice gelato. Really nice little backdrop here in front of the cathedral. And to be honest, we thought we'd done it on the first day. We thought, this is the best gelato. But no. Bob Rocks, that is the one. This pistachio ice cream in the top left corner, absolutely banging. Served it in a gluten-free cone as well. They do gluten-free cones at Bob Rocks. So if you like gelato, which obviously everyone likes gelato, you got to go there for a gluten-free ice cream. And then finally to finish, and probably I reckon the most important recommendation for when you're travelling gluten-free in somewhere like Zadar, is to get an accommodation that's got a kitchen facilities and somewhere nice to eat outside. Because it does make a massive difference not having to worry, every day about where you're going to eat and having to repeat the same places. And to be honest, there's Lidl's and things like that over there that all stock gluten-free bread, gluten-free pasta, gluten-free snacks, all things like crisps and stuff labelled up gluten-free. Just makes the whole thing easier. And their best meal of all, big bag of sweet potato, beetroot and broccoli salad to take round the Plitvice Lakes National Park. And to be honest, who needs fancy restaurants and all that when you've got a big sandwich bag full of hot salad? Banging.